Yeah. Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. Wisdom voice in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It's the Con Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we here to give you our work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, you guys know what day it is. What day is we right here? We're in the middle of the week. Some call it hump day. I think that's a little nasty, but that's what it is. Wednesday, and you know what that means? That means it is the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neal. We got a Monday Night Raw to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, things are moving as we are moving into Crown Jewel and eventually Survivor Series. And man, we have a new intercontinental champion. And man, this has been a topsy-turvy situation in terms of the IC title. And man, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. That's kind of where I'm at with it. We're definitely going to talk about it. But I gotta ask my co-host here because I think she felt some type of way about it herself. So I gotta ask my co-host, and that is of course divinely designed Annie O'Neal, joining us here at In Your House. I gotta ask her right now, Annie, are you okay?
You know what? I'm great. Like I ran down this whole spiel in my head, but you beat me to the punch. We're ready to give the masses some hump day action and give it to them raw, come on.
Yeah.
But you said
yes.
Yeah. So I'm great. Let's go. You know, everyone wants this midweek sweetness. Let's go.
Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to give it to them raw. And we got to bring it down a little bit because, man, this was a good Monday Night Raw. We had the IC title change hands, and that was, and you know, that a lot of different feelings about that. But before we get into this episode of Monday Night Raw, there was news that came out, and it pretty much broke the wrestling internet Monday afternoon. I mean, I saw it. I got the notification about it. And then once I saw that notification, and after I read it, because I was just getting on IG, I was going on to, you know, check what was going on in the wrestling world, you know, and see what because that's what I do. I always be on there looking for, and boy, did I find some news, because as soon as I opened IG, the very first thing that I saw was announcer Samantha Irvin. She's stepping away from the WWE as the ring announcer. I mean, it just, to all of us, it was shocking because it seemingly felt like it was out of nowhere, Annie. But man, what a major loss for WWE and for the wrestling world.
I couldn't agree more. That was one thing I opened up on social media and I immediately closed it. I wanted it to be a cruel, sick joke. You know, I am a ring announcer, and so much of what I appreciate in my style, I see it in Samantha Irvin. She just brings such heart, such charisma, the entire flow of the show to a whole new energy. And you know, it was funny because before this point in time, I saw a lot of stupid criticism about Samantha Irvin, like, oh, she does too much. No, she makes you feel. Um, but they sang a different tune once everyone else got hit with the news too. So
Yeah, I think there was a lot of people that were shocked by the news. I definitely was. And I've heard that noise that people say that she does a little bit too much. She takes away from the show. And you gotta, this is this is a new era of professional
mhm,
wrestling. And as somebody who has managed, as somebody who has done backstage correspondence, as somebody who has been commentary, me personally, I go big or go home when I do it. I'm a big
absolutely.
personality. I show that I'm that big personality. I didn't come here to just, be a prop. I'm there to
Right.
elevate everybody around me. I'm there to tell the stories. I'm there to bring the emotion from my role. And so when I see somebody like Samantha that is Irvin, who has such an elegant style about her, but still a vibe as well, like very, like, just seems like a cool person, and you can tell that she was invested, and you can
She's got
tell
that
that she
soul.
cared. Yeah, she's got that soul, and like you can't turn somebody like that down. Like you can't turn them down. You
You know,
that
she walks
you
into
that
that ring
that's a
like,
fire.
damn, I love my job. And like that
Yeah, yep.
energy is expansive. It gets people, going. It makes them want to interact. It makes people forget about the bullshit that, they're carrying around with them before they hit the doors. Like, and I just really, really appreciate that about Samantha Irvin, and I'm sorely going to miss her. And not to take anything away from the amazing Lillian Garcia, but they are two different uh, performers stylistically, and
Big
I
time
just feel
different
like
styles.
we're just in an age of WWE where the storylines are bleeding off of the screen, and it's and wrapping the audience to be interactive on a whole new level. And I feel like every character, whether they're the performer themselves or the support, like everyone needs to rise to that level. And you know,
Yeah, I
um,
she brought a lot out of everybody around her.
right. I mean, like, I will never forget when Cody won the championship from Roman, and just
Oh
hearing
man,
the
yeah.
elation in her voice, like that made me tear up. That emotionally invested me on a whole new level. And
Because she
I,
understood the moment. That's the big thing. She understood the moment.
mhm,
Like that's why to your point, that's why that moment felt bigger, because it wasn't just us as fans like, oh my gosh, her Rhodes
mhm,
actually just won the WWE championship at WrestleMania,
mhm.
and we're all feeling it. The ring announcer is feeling it, like it's big. Like, and I know my man Voice, he wants me to acknowledge him. Samantha bores you, bro. I get it, but I'm sorry, bro. I love you, but I couldn't disagree more. I mean, she she just really brought something to WWE that was
You know,
special,
I've
and
been wrong, but I've never been that wrong.
Hey, that's all right. He can, you know what? He can have his opinion, just like we can have ours. But to me, she was a
It's
great,
wrong.
great addition to
Right.
to to WWE, and whatever she does next, she's gonna absolutely kill it. I mean, she's gonna absolutely, and all speculation says that it's going to be music. She's, she had, I had told you a little bit when we talked about it in the chat, that and a lot of people didn't know. I just kind of saw it by chance on Instagram.
Mhm.
It was either this past week or the week before. She had just done
Mhm.
the national anthem for the Las Vegas Raiders game,
That's
and
amazing.
apparently it was good,
Mhm.
really good. I wonder if that was the moment if that was the moment where she was like, all right,
I
I'm
gotta
loving this
go.
wrestling thing. I'm having a
You gotta
blast.
go.
I gotta go. I gotta go. That's it right there. Like I gotta go. Like her for everything that I understand, that I've read about her, that I've
Mhm.
studied about her, is that
Mhm.
her first love was music. I get it. Trust me, if anybody gets it, it's me. I
Yeah.
understand that love for music. So for her to want to go back and get that, she's young, she's
Right.
talented, the world is at her fingertips.
At least she can say
Why
she
not?
did it.
At least she could say she did it. And I mean, just some really good catchy hooks, some good tunes, some good music, some very specific and good key features could really catapult her into music. And that's not to say that it's all over for her in wrestling. She can come back to WWE an even bigger star when she decides to come back, if she gets elevated by music and any other endeavors that she decides to do. I just think the world is at Samantha's fingertips, and
Absolutely.
I wish her the very best.
And you never know what's gonna happen. So maybe um, Lillian Garcia is just filling in for the interim. So
Yeah. I mean, we that's the question, is what's next, because I like I like Lillian Garcia, and I heard it as once again we're going to talk Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. So I mean, she came back and she was gracious enough to come back and on such short notice and hold it
oh
down.
yeah.
So just much respect to
What within a
Lillian.
day? I mean, that's what
Yeah,
it
within a
seemed
day. Yeah.
less than 48 hours for sure. Because I think the news broke out
Yeah. Oh,
Monday morning.
it was like Monday, midday Monday almost. I felt like it
Right.
was like
And then she
around
was
noonish, maybe a little bit
right.
before that.
But you know what? WWE wastes no time. They fill
They
empty
can't.
positions. Right. But it's just crazy how fast that that switch happens. So
Oh yeah, for sure. OG Tony, I thought I'd read
oh,
about
interesting.
that Mark Henry had discovered. Yeah, and she showed Mark Henry love in her goodbye note to WWE on IG. Showed love to Triple H, everybody that gave her opportunity. I just think she's going out there and she's going to go and grab her brass ring. There's a lot of talk about brass rings in
Hmm.
wrestling. I don't think a brass ring is just confined to wrestling. I think the brass ring is whatever you want it to be. And I think truly, I think that Samantha Irvin is going to try to grab her brass ring.
She has so many different unique abilities in her wheelhouse, and with that stack of talent, the world is truly limitless for her. So I have no doubt about that. So
Yeah, for sure. I
I just
agree.
heard the sonic ring effect in my head as soon as you said brass rings too.
Yes, you know what? I've been watching some of those weird. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna sound old. I guess I don't know. It's like really like old school meme, but it's like the bloodline. They did one of the Jacob Fatu like
Hmm.
kicking the rings off of Sonic the Hedgehog, and it was funny stuff. So that's what it made me
That's
think
great.
of. But yeah, it's just funny. Like I said, it's just weird memey type stuff that you see on the internet, and I just think it's funny. I love it. But I gotta say, pivoting real quick, talking about Monday Night Raw,
Hmm.
there was a lot of things that moved in this Monday Night Raw. Like we
Right.
know
It's
once
two
again, we know
hours.
about yeah, just 2 hours, and we talked about we're going to talk about the title change of the IC title, but there's still so much to kind of break down because I was looking at just trying to get my brain
Hmm.
refunctioned and wired because after work a couple days and then watching it's been a couple days since I watched Monday Night Raw. I always like to get caught back
Right.
up and try to figure out where we left off at.
Sure.
And even some of the backstage stuff was really good. So I just want to get ahead of this real quick.
Hmm.
Uh, I want to I want to talk real quick about carrying cross and the reason. why I bring Karrion Cross up is because I like Karrion Cross. I have not
Hmm.
liked the Final Testament. I've
Sure.
I've been pretty much vehemently against the Final Testament,
Hmm.
and I even said on this show that the Wyatt Six needs to get a good opponent ahead of them, and I don't think it needs to be the Final Testament. I said the Judgment Day. I think we both said that. I think we both were in that wheelhouse that the Final Testament, if they started feuding with the Wyatt Six, it will be a step down for the Wyatt Six. I said all these things. I own what I said. And now, watching and seeing what's going on, I got to say, Karrion Cross is starting to cook right now.
He
I
really
mean,
is.
he's,
He really is.
yeah, he's,
There
I'm
there
liking
was
it.
one point during this match where I really saw the effect that Karrion Cross has had on Woods. Like when Kofi is clearly trying to go back and help, our truth and
Yeah,
save him from that ass whooping. You could really see like Woods was really holding him back. Like what would the ulterior motive be? Like
yeah,
the neurotoxin is finally setting in his brain, and then you see Karrion Cross. Credit to the amazing camera person for just such like picking up on such a solid detail. Like, and Cross just has the sinister smile on his face, like he knew what he did and it worked.
yeah. Most definitely. I'm liking what we're seeing with Karrion Cross. The Miz entering the fray now and seeming like he's ready to click up with Karrion Cross. I'm somebody who, once you show me something, and like,
Hmm. Right.
listen, I'm not nobody from a hole in the wall. I just like what I like. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? So
Sure.
like, but if you show me something, then I because Karrion Cross is good. Karrion Cross
He
has been
is.
good,
He is. But if
but it's
everything
the
else around him is
presentation.
chaos,
Yes.
it detracts from
Yep.
who Karrion Cross is. And that gets lost and muddled.
Exactly.
So, but it's just a testament to what we've been saying for so many episodes now. Just like the storytelling is so rich and layered that once those seeds are planted and when they come to harvest, like shit cooks. It really does. Do you
Yep.
think this
Yep.
uh run in with or this match with Akam and Razar, do you think that adds to their credibility for you? Do they gain any more likability for you now that Karrion Cross is starting
Well,
to cook a little more?
they lost the match. I
Right.
will say that. So that was tough. That's one thing. I think the way that they used him, or them, that is, the
Mm-hmm.
way that they used
Yes.
them in the backstage segment after the Wyatt attack, because there was
Mm-hmm.
a backstage segment that had happened
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with the Miz and Karrion Cross, and Miz was like, "All right, I'm out of here, man. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I appreciate everything you did for me, but I don't want no smoke with the Wyatt Six. You handle that, have fun with that." And then he tried to dip, and then the Authors of Pain stood in his way and was like, "No, you're not going anywhere." And Karrion Cross, like, he actually made Paul Ellering like worth a damn for a second, because he said,
Yes.
this isn't something where we could just part ways. My man took a bullet for you. Now we're in this together. I I don't know. I just love that touch. It made, I guess, ultimately, to answer your question, yes, I think all around that they're making the characters in Final Testament actually worth a damn now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Paul Ellering took the bullet. Why would he do that for the Miz? Like, for what reason? but he did it, and it made Carrion feel some type of way. So he's like, "Nah, Miz, you're in it now. Like we are in, like you're
Mhm.
stuck with me now." And then Miz was like, "All right, we got to come up with a plan then." So it's like, "All right, now it's like there's layers that are starting to build now, and I like it."
I truly forget how quick the heel Miz is to run from conflict. It's really funny. It's
Yeah.
like a
Oh
Looney
yeah.
Tunes character. Like he instigates the beast, and then like you really think you're going to dip out on the consequences? No way, no way. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yep.
complicit in the
That's
crime, so
exactly what it
everyone goes
was.
down together.
Yep. Yep, I dig it. It's a good, and then you gotta ask because even OG Tony is saying adding Woods and Miz to the story helps a lot.
Hmm.
What's happening? We talked about the Miz. You talked about Woods a little bit. When's it happening with Woods? Because we saw him have another backstage conflict with Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, and Kofi is just like, bro, what is going on? Like, what is
Hmm.
going on with you? It's that poison that was injected by Karrion Cross. So, like, how big is this faction going to get? And what's Xavier Woods' role going to be in this faction if it happens? I don't know what we're building here. I don't know what Karrion Cross is building here, but I mean, whatever it is, we got to think about now what's the reasoning for the Wyatt Six, because they're here, they're back, and they're going into the feud that I said if they went into it, I would boo boo all over it. And I'm not boo booing all over it. I'm excited for it. I really am. But now we have the Wyatt Six back. What are you thinking about the return of the Wyatts?
Um, well, when that G sharp note hit, and then the lights went out, and then the first thing that the camera saw was Nikki Cross's deranged mania. I don't know, like those Spirit Halloween decorations are really nice this year, cause whew, like a sleep paralysis demon. Like I like that's still stuck with me. Like I feel like she looks like she's gonna try and crawl out of a TV. Like it is that time of the year, and I'm already
Yeah,
like
for
freaking
sure. Like the
myself
ring.
out. Um, I really feel like it's going to be one of these things that is um something that's going to surprise everyone. Like we're not going to know how good it can
Yeah.
become until it plays out. Um, I really saw a lot of potential in the storyline that will be unfolding with the Wyatt Six and the Final Testament. I really hope that we get to see Scarlett wrestle. I would love to see her wrestle Nikki Cross. I hope that's something that's going to
Oh, that'd be
happen.
sweet.
Because I know Scarlett can. I know she can go. And well, we know what Nikki's crazy ass is capable of. So I really hope that's something that we get to see. That is what I want to see because I'm selfish and that's what I want. Um, but I really like seeing the matchup unfold. I really liked what Dexter Loomis was doing. Each time I see him as uh, a part of this faction, it's bringing something out of him that is fundamental to his core, and it's going to
Yeah.
bring out the best in everyone.
Yeah. I think so too. I think this is gonna be a better feud than what I was
Hmm.
previously given it credit for, just
Hmm.
because like I didn't I wanted to do exactly what Tony is saying. He says they love that they're not overusing them, they're kind of an attraction, and I agree
Hmm.
with that. I just didn't I wanted to protect what they are, and I
That's
feel
something
like
I was afraid
that.
of when they first started
Yeah.
their program.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want them. I didn't. The way the final testament was being presented a couple of months ago felt like a step down
Hmm.
for, felt like a step down for the Wyatt Six. now that they've done a few tweaks with the Final Testament, and credit to Karrion Kross and the whole clique and Triple H and them, because they didn't give up on it. Like they could have gave up on it, but I think
Right.
that they really wanted to make it work, and they came in at a weird time. When they came in, they were trying to establish another faction, which was
Right.
the Pride, which was Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. That
Mhm.
dissolved. That didn't work out at all.
Mhm.
And but
On
it
paper, I
put
feel like that
it put
should.
the Final Testament in a weird. What's that?
I feel like on paper that should work, but
Yeah, it should have. It should have, but it didn't. They brought those factions in at the same time, and it just
yeah.
what like it did. That feud didn't work out for anybody. But like now that they're letting it cook a little bit and carrying, and I like Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross is
Mhm.
smart about the business, and he's very entertaining to listen to, like on podcasts and stuff. And
Mhm.
he just has a unique way of looking at things. So I'm happy to see him get his shot and get this opportunity. This is somebody who's been a former NXT champion. When he got brought
Did
back
you
to the
see him take a
company, they
baseball bat
immediately
in an
tried
ankle
to.
lock? Did you see him do that? There was a
No,
real there. Yeah,
I
there was a
didn't.
TikTok going around where he had an old wooden baseball bat, and he's a black belt in jujitsu. So he wanted to see if he
Oh
could
yeah,
do
that's
it.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So he set up the ankle lock, and like just based on the mechanics, and he had everything secure, and he executed the maneuvers, and he broke that shit in half. It's
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
He is a unique individual, and I like his mind. He's got a very unique mind, and I like it. So it's very interesting to see him get this
Mhm.
opportunity to feud with the Wyatts and what they can do together to elevate this story. So I think it's going to be good. I'm happy to see that the Wyatt Six are being protected and put in meaningful things. I think that is the right vibe. And we talk about stables and whatnot, and stables kind of having to rewire and twist
I have a
some
question for you.
things. Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, so if something like the Final Testament, what took a while to take off, do you think if it didn't have that instant popularity in like the Vince McMahon era, do you think that project would have been shelved and compared to
The
how long it?
the Final Testament.
Mm-hmm.
I I yeah, I think Vince would have gave up
Mm-hmm.
on it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I do. I think that there's okay, so there's different ways to look at things, and I think the way Triple H looks at things is the
Mm-hmm.
way that like somebody who is kind of in tune with how the business now is. It's like we can't give up on things. We have to give them a chance to. This is why you're seeing so many stables stay together now, because it's like we got to give them a chance to
Mm-hmm.
actually do something before. Because if okay, Vince would have shelved a gimmick or a wrestler or a stable or
Mm-hmm.
something if he gave it to them and it was something they couldn't work with, but they tried to make it work. Then he'd blame them and be like, "Oh well, it's been 2 months. This isn't working. Done." As
Mm-hmm.
opposed to Triple H, who will be like, "Okay, you guys want to be together? You have this idea. What is it? Okay, this could work. I don't have really a spot for you guys on the card right now because I got this, and this going on, but I can put you guys in some undercard things. And, once some of these stories start lightening up, we can start building you up and getting you some key wins and building you up on the card. Before you know it, you'll be in the mid card. And after that, it's going to be up to you guys to do what you do. And it's a different vibe, right? As opposed to somebody's like, here, take this. This is what I'm giving you. You have to make it work. You only have this amount of time to make it work,
Mm-hmm.
and boom, boom, boom. As opposed to somebody saying, oh, you have this organic idea. Okay, I want to nurture it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, two completely different business models, and it's crazy how just like 10 years ago, just one business model would have swallowed up a really good idea that needed that nurturing, like you said. And I really appreciate this new turn in the tide. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I just wanted to pick your brain on that. That's
Yeah, for sure.
something that popped in
For
my feed
sure.
space.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I
stressed
think
do you
that
think Adam
it's
Pierce was during the show?
oh my gosh, the man's constantly stressed. Now, I'm glad you brought
Dude.
that up because um myself, I think you've been saying it. I think Hype was saying it for a while, is
Hmm.
that he's completely lost control of Monday Night Raw and he doesn't look competent at his job. And this of course is all in storyline. I love Scrap Daddy Adam Pierce, he's awesome, but like in storyline, he kind of don't got control of what's going on. I will say this man pays attention to what's being said because he knows that his show is nothing but chaos and he's absolutely owning it. And he's like, he says things like, oh, I need a drink. And it's like, you can tell this man is stressed out on the job because how chaotic Monday Night Raw is. He heard the noise on the internet, he's owning it on the show. I love that. Now it's a whole different vibe of Adam Pierce because it gives us the vibe that Adam is listening to us.
Like his face is always red. Like his hypertension is always like off the charts. You can tell. Like
That man's blood pressure is
he,
crazy. It's got to be.
he needs to eat some more Cheerios. I'm just saying. Like
Yeah.
you know, the amount of stress he puts on his internal organs, and to what effect? I mean, the animals are taking over the zoo, right?
Yes. That's exactly what it is. That's what it is. The inmates are running the asylum, and that's exactly what we're seeing. I mean,
They
that's
really
just a great pivot to everything going on with Seth Rollins and Big Bronson Reed. They fought at the beginning of the show, throughout the show, backstage. They just kept fighting. Like the fight kept happening. Like it happened like 3 times in the show, and I wasn't mad at it. It's finally led to a match between these two in Crown Jewel. What was you thinking? What was your thoughts on just the sheer chaos between these two, and now they're finally gonna go at it at Crown Jewel?
I love this chaotic expression of Seth Rollins. Like, this is the energy that makes him Seth freaking Rollins. Like, one of my favorite things that he said during this storyline or this episode, he asked if Bronson Reed wanted to be famous, and Seth Rollins is like, "I will make you famous." Like that's how I know, and I just heard it in his voice. Like, what it the energy that Seth Rollins is on right now, it's like shook up Mountain Dew mixed with C4, like
Yeah.
anything else that has a negative chemical reaction and it just like explodes. It's like, I love it. I absolutely love it. And
Yes.
Bronson Reed is not that person that you want to cross when his eyes go black. Like, that man
Mm.
is scary. Like, still waters run deep, right? Like he doesn't. He's not a man of a lot of words, but once that switch is flipped, you gotta run. But it's funny because Seth Rollins is that person to run toward the danger instead of away from it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
Like,
No doubt about it. I love
um,
Bronson. I love everything they're doing with them right now.
I agree. And just that Death Valley driver was astounding, and the death count of all of the security and the officials, that's up to like 4,434. I've been keeping an active count, and you're welcome, everyone who's watching, because I'm not the only one who thinks of these things. So I got to keep everyone up to date. So I'm a numbers gal. So these things matter.
Hey, we appreciate it. We do, and I'm appreciating this episode here of In Your House because it's just another vibe here on a Wednesday, and we still got a couple of things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. We have got everything that's going down with the Judgment Day. Carlito making some moves on behalf of Dominic Mysterio. We have the Intercontinental Championship to talk about. We're definitely going to talk about that. It is going to be a vibe. But before we do all that, guys, we got to take a break real quick. We're going to pay a few bills. And when we come back, myself and the amazing Annie O'Neill are going to continue to talk Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neill will be back in a second.
Do you like comedy? Have you ever done it? Have you ever thought about going up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pub, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th. And we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Sign-ups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar. Or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials. And it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the comedy den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, a.k.a. Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the comedy den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to In Your House. And of course, that is the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neill. I'm Howse. Right over there is O'Neill, and we are here to bring you guys a vibe. We've already been bringing you guys a vibe as we talked about so much already for Monday Night Raw. We showed love to the amazing Samantha Irvin, and we talked about so many things. Karrion Kross is starting to really cook right now. We talked a little bit about that. What's going on with Xavier Woods? The Miz trying to run out on the Wyatt Six? Not happening. So many awesome things going down on Monday Night Raw. We got to continue it. We just talked about Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. They're going to tear the house down to Crown Jewel. That's going to be a movie. We talked about factions. Factions has been kind of a conversation here on this episode of the Raw deal. We're going to continue that because we got to talk about another faction, and that is, of course, that ever-evolving Judgment Day and everything going on with them. And my gosh, the Judgment Day just completely knows how to keep themselves recreated and stay relevant on Monday Night Raw. Even the quote unquote, if you want to call them that, secondary members, because we're seeing I gotta say it, as somebody who was so critical of Raquel Rodriguez and saying, oh my god, if she would just please come back and be Liv Morgan's bodyguard, that would just be perfect for her. It adds an extra layer to the story with Liv Morgan, the hottest heel on the women's roster right now. I mean, it's just a vibe right now, ladies and gentlemen. And yo, it's crazy. Raquel Rodriguez is really making me feel something. Her promo on Monday Night Raw was probably the best promo I've ever heard her do. Raquel is in a different bag. She's needed this refreshing, and she's got great size, great ability. It's not the vibe for her to be the smiley Hispanic girl. We already got that with Selena Vega right now. Much respect to
And
Selena.
Vega does it so effectively.
She does. She does. This is the right vibe for Raquel. I'm loving it right now.
It really is. Like, her gear was top notch. She was a badass. You know, and am I seeing a correlation between a different version of Rhea Ripley that parallels Raquel Rodriguez? Like, am I?
Okay. So Raquel could be the yin to Rhea's yang. This could definitely be her match right here, like Spider-Man and Venom or something like that.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like that.
Raquel got the symbiote. Yes,
that type of vibe.
Yes.
Yep. And because Raquel has the size that Rhea has, she has the athleticism that Rhea has. She can pull out that mean streak that Rhea has. Everything that makes Rhea Ripley unique, Raquel can match that. That's
and it doesn't take away from Rhea Ripley. Like, even though there are similarities, like, Raquel is putting her own spin on it, and it doesn't look like she's trying to take away from Rhea Ripley. She, while playing to the same, maybe she's trying to emulate what Rhea Ripley used to be, but I don't feel like it's unique to Raquel Rodriguez.
And I think that Rhea is I think Rhea is more than fine with, like, because Rhea's she's a top star, period.
Absolutely.
Rhea Ripley's a top star in WWE.
Absolutely.
I don't think she has any problem giving some of that rub to Raquel. It helps legitimize Raquel, and like eventually Raquel's gonna look at Liv like, right, and I'm gonna talk more about that. I don't want to get too far about what I'm about to say, but I got to say this: at some point, Raquel's gonna be like, Liv, what do I actually need you for? I could just take your title, you know, like I could literally put me in a match where it's me and you, and like I could beat your ass, like straight up, like Raquel could do it. But I want to say this: this is
you heard it here first on the Raw Deal, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, you have a really awesome habit of being right, so like
especially out of left field, like hot damn.
Yeah, like you were on point with the Raquel Rodriguez bit, and you stuck the landing. So I'm just saying, like, you heard it here first. So
hey, it's a strong possibility. But I want to add this: we've been covering on this show here the elevation, the evolution of the women's tag team division. I just thought it was really, really, really interesting that Liv and Raquel said, "Hey, we're former tag team champions. We can take those. We can do it." You have the top heel in the women's division saying, "Hey, I'm shifting my focus a little bit to those tag titles. If I want them, I can have them." This women's division is really getting hot.
I also think we said that here on the Raw Deal.
We did.
I really think we did.
We did.
This is why the ratings are the way they are. We just keep climbing the charts. We are right, and the people want to listen.
They want to hear, because who knows, we might hit on something else.
I mean, you have to keep watching. You have to see what else Tom is right about.
Hey, us as a team, and that just pivots right back to this tag team division, because it's heating up. It's great. So many talents that are coming. It's spilling over into NXT with Damage Control and Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, as they're developing, and it seems like they're here. They've been on every show, whether it be Raw, whether it be SmackDown, whether it be NXT. Those women are working right now. They're, on top of the ladder, you have a perennial main eventer in Bianca Belair and a blue chipper like Jade Cargill as the champions. Then you have the women's world champion as Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, former tag team champions, now stating claim to those titles. We can take them now. You have Damage Control in the fray, and Io Sky and Kairi Sane are absolutely no joke. You have the PFE, the Pure Fusion Collective, stupid name, legitimate stars that are in that stable. I mean, it's stacked. This women's division,
it really
it's
is.
getting.
About to pop off.
I never thought I'd see the day that the women's tag team division is one of, if not the hottest division in the WWE, and it's very true because there's so many top stars that are coming for them.
Because I know we've said it here, but I see it so many different outlets that, you know, people want to see a strong, solid women's tag division, and it's just amazing because we're being heard. Like, it's all forming in front of our eyes, and it's just so exciting to witness because there's so many different moving variables, and Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, like, they're superstars in the making. Like, give Lash Legend a few years, and I think she'll be on the same level as Rhea Ripley. I really fucking do. Like, just the power in her moves. Star. Like, I think her finisher was called the Lash Extension. It, like, I've seen her do it before, but in this episode it was a little disjointed in the movements, but like, just the power that she has in the sound that she makes when she throws a body back down to earth. I love it, and give her the kerosene in the match, and time over time, she is going to be, like I said, something that rivals Rhea Ripley. She has that star power, and we're seeing it. So I'm really happy for that.
The potential is there, and it's
and
so
even
many
Jackson too. But I really feel like Lash Legend really stuck out to me, especially in the interference last night.
I mean, it's nothing against you because she's very talented.
Absolutely.
It's just Lash Legend is definitely like she's the standout, you know, like, and that's gonna happen. That's gonna be the case at times, and it's definitely Lash Legend. She's gonna be coming up. That's gonna be great. Once again, this women's tag team division is just moving. And
I feel like they need a new tag team name. I think Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. I feel like I was reading that they were still referred to as the Metaphor, which was kind of confusing because I feel like even though they're still in NXT, like, they are going to be getting their call up very soon. So I mean that's probably in the works, but I just want it now.
Honestly, I think it's done. I think we're here.
Sure.
Like,
okay.
I think like they've showed up on both shows,
right?
And yes, they're still doing NXT, but like they've already had a women's tag team title opportunity. Like, I dare say they're here, and I'm gonna say this here too. I think there's a real chance that okay, I could go bold, or I can go with. I'll give you both scenarios here. Here's the one I think it could really be the big move that I think that should happen. Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend beat Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill for the tag team champions. They become the next tag champs.
Honestly, that's what I'm hoping for. I feel like
that's what I want to see happen.
Who's going to get the biggest push from going over Jade and Bianca? Because I feel like Bianca and Jade's tenure as a tag team, I feel like that's coming to an end. And I feel like they should be split soon. I feel like Jade would benefit more from being a heel. I think she's awesome what she's doing right now, but I want to see Jade go heel. So what better opportunity for that to happen if they lose the tag titles? So especially for Jackson, Jakara and Lash.
And Legend. The other scenario I had is it's safer, but I wouldn't do this. But this is the safer side. So do something like have maybe in a match have Io Sky and Kairi Sane beat Belair and Cargill for the tag titles, have them as transitional champions. Then they drop the titles to Legend and Jackson. And Damage Control would literally be transitional champions to put it on a heel tag team, and then transition it and keep Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend babyface. Once again, I wouldn't do it like that. I think that it's a better moment to just have them straight up beat the two top dogs.
Do you think they're
Who?
Jakara and
heel?
Yeah. Do you think they're heel? I thought they were.
I can't really tell what they are right now, because I think they're beefing with Damage Control too. And Damage Control, I think the Damage Control is this is where we're at with WWE, where it's like
that they're already heel. So I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I think they could play heel, but I don't. Once again, I can't read it, because we're in such a spot where it's like people like who they like, and I think the Damage Control is supposed to be heel, but I think I noticed this on Monday Night Raw, is that Damage Control has been getting babyface reactions. So I'm just a little bit like, I can't tell where we're at right now.
And see, that's the interpretation I had. I feel like Damage Control is now face, and then just based on the interactions and how Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson have been interacting with Damage Control, I felt like they were the heels.
I could see what you mean by that. Maybe maybe the turn is happening. Maybe it's organically happening. I'm gonna keep watching it, because I'm invested in the women's tag team division. Like, it's been good stuff. But I also wanted to talk about we went from one title to speaking about a number one contenders opportunity for another title. That's Gunther, as Adam Pearce is looking for another number one contender. And we keeping it with Judgment Day here. Dirty Dom is thinking like, man, I might have a shot at it. I could probably beat Gunther. Man, the way Carlito laughed, I was like, bro, like, dang. You didn't have to laugh so quick and so hard.
Like that's funny. The court gesture was the first to crack up. Like, that was great. Like,
but
that
the way he walked it back with, let me fix this.
Like, that was one of my favorite moments of this Monday Night Raw. Like, oh man, like, this little embodiment of a cockroach is gonna go toe to toe with Gunther. Okay. I mean,
it's laughable.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see Gunther's reaction. I cannot wait.
Oh my god!
Like,
that's gonna feed families.
I cannot wait for Gunther to plunge his hand inside Dom Mysterio's chest and like rip his spine out from like a Mortal Kombat fatality. Right. Like a Quentin Tarantino film. Like, come on, like. Okay, I mean, that's something. That's definitely something.
Oh my gosh. I thought that was funny. I'm also you know what? I'm quickly liking this dynamic between Carlito and Raquel. He's like, oh, you can clearly tell he's like, oh, she's a baddie.
Yeah. Like, she straight up questioned his purpose in the group, and I'm like, okay, Raquel, I like you. I like this for you. Like, because she was on it.
and Carlito likes it too.
What?
Carlito is hilarious. I love it. Like, I know he kind of ad-libbed that one line about, speaking Chinese or whatever. We talked about that a little bit when we was in the DMs. Like, I get it, but I hope nothing comes down on him, because Carlito has been damn entertaining since he's been back to the WWE.
I feel like, because people get very critical on this type of thing, and I feel like people forget that Carlito is a dumbass, and he might not know the difference between nationalities because he is stupid. And stupid people are going to say
playing the comic relief character.
And I feel like people forget to have a sense of humor. And I'm not negating the fact that these are not real life world issues that people have been disenfranchised by. Like, I acknowledge that, but this is sports entertainment. And let's compare to what types of things would occur 25 years ago. It's not the same thing. It's not.
No, it's not. There was no there was no ill will intent. There was no ill will
not.
intentions behind it.
And I really hope that nothing comes of it for Carlito, because I mean we live in a different era where,
Yeah.
and I'm, you know what, and on some level I'm really glad that people get held accountable for what they say, because you are responsible for what comes out of your mouth. But sarcasm and nuance and satire, these are all things that make life a lot more bearable. So we have to learn. It's picking a battle. I don't know.
I feel you. I know exactly where you're coming from. I think intent is very, very important, and nuance is very, very important. And I think people ignore intentions and they ignore nuances. And there's a lot of people that just get up and look for something to be outraged about. So, take that for what you will. I'm not, being insensitive to anybody's situation, but those people are truly out there. People get up and they find something to be outraged about. Then there's other people who get up and find something to be grateful for. And, it's just different people, different beliefs, different thoughts, different experiences through life. But I personally believe that Carlito did not mean any bad intentions by it. He,
Right.
he's the comic relief of the Judgment Day.
And it's funny
Exactly.
because
He hits those one lines.
I read a lot of comments on many different posts talking about the subject, and a lot of people who are like, "Hey, I'm Chinese. I thought it was hilarious." Like, I mean, we forget that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just.
Sometimes people laugh at themselves. We got OG Tony up here saying people are soft. I grew up with Don Rickles. Bro, you grew up with Methuselah. You were old. Like, we love you, OG Tony. I love you, man. I love you, bro. I truly do. Oh man, Tony is great. Check out everything that they're doing on Gonzo Sports Room, Gonzo's Wrestling Room. They do a great show. They're awesome. And he's always coming in and tapping in with us and talking to us. OG Tony is great. But yeah, man, it's the intent. And I think that was important. Carlito's great. I'm liking what the Judgment Day is doing right now. I like how the dynamics have changed. So just the Judgment Day is keeping fresh. Like I knew Raquel. I knew it. I knew Raquel could get in this situation.
Right.
I knew if she would get in a situation that it was going to pay dividends for her. I think early on it truly is.
I just can't wait to see what comes next week. So, and I feel like everything that we saw in this episode lined us up nicely for Crown Jewel.
Yes, I agree. Last thing we got to talk about, and then we got to ride off into the sunset here, is of course the thing that happened that we're all talking about. The biggest thing, the biggest thing is not the biggest thing on Monday Night Raw. It moved a lot of stories along. The Intercontinental Championship changed hands. And I think a lot of people kind of saw this one coming. I had a slight feeling that this could happen. I think I said it last week, but I feel like that there's a chance that this could happen. There it is right there. Jey Uso loses the IC title to Braun Breaker. This was a lot of layers into this, because out comes Solo Sikoa with Jacob Fatu. He has 2 tickets and a Yeet shirt, and he seems to be in support of his older brother, Jay. And it's, you have the rest of the bloodline that comes around. They're all trying to help him. Jay doesn't want the help. He super kicks Tama Tonga, then Tonga Loa, then Tama Tonga comes flying. He eats one too, and even Solo moves Jay out of the way for the super spear coming in from Braun Breaker. He took a spear for his brother, and Jacob saw this. And then, real quick, because I got to get your thoughts on this real quick. Jacob comes from over the barricade, and him and Breaker have a face to face, and the crowd is like, there's electricity in the air. I got to ask you, what you was thinking about that moment real quick.
That's something that really tipped me off. That's something my eyes saw, and I was like, did that happen? Did I pick up a vibe that, is this something that might be connected? Because I know what my eyes saw. What did your eyes see?
I mean, I saw everybody seeing two juggernauts facing off. And this is something, because I even saw reports after the show. People was like, oh, the potential Breaker versus Fatu. People want it more now. Like, it's just like, I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think Fatu and Breaker was something in people's minds. Like, they're doing such different things that I don't think it was something that connected, and then boom, that connection happened. They're like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute.
I saw that. Right.
Yeah. Like, this is something right here.
Right.
Yeah, where I would want to see that. So, like, that was a big moment. I thought that was big. And then as Jay is trying to finish the job through, you have Solo down. He's coming to run around. I think he's trying to hit a spear on Breaker. And boom, Jacob Fatu hits Jay with the super kick. And then a Samoan drop on the announce table. And I don't think that the tribal chief called for that.
Dropped the soul out of his body.
Yes. I don't think the tribal chief wanted that. I don't like, because Solo was not still down he was still down from the spear. So the way I looked at it was Solo brought them all to help Jay, and instead of helping Jay, Jacob did something to hurt Jay that was not orders that were given by the tribal chief.
Like, he's starting to go, like, there's starting to be
going rogue.
Maybe
he went rogue. He did what he wanted to, and I'm just very curious to see how Solo. I hope he does. If he doesn't, it's going to be a big miss. I feel like that needs to be confronted by Solo, that you didn't go with the plan. I did not tell you to do that.
So Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga, aren't they from? They're from a different tribe. Yes. So maybe this is the start of the split of the bloodline. So maybe Tongans versus Samoans.
Maybe. I don't know. I know Jacob is still himself Samoan, so I don't know if that's gonna play a factor. Play a factor into that.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
if
Jacob
was Samoan. Okay.
Yeah, he is. But like, but Jay's kept saying things like, "We were supposed to stay away from Jacob. Why were you supposed to stay away from Jacob? What's the big secret?" This is the thing. That's the little things that they're saying. He said to Solo when on last week's SmackDown, when he showed up, we were supposed to stay away from Jacob. Why was he? What is it about Jacob that you were not supposed to go around him? I'm interested, and it's this bloodline storyline, Annie, is really starting to hit a different stride right now. You have Roman on the other side saying that he's proud of Jay after he was saying no yeet. He didn't want to deal with them or anything. Like, we're starting to see them have to come together, and now Jay is going to go right back to that bloodline storyline. We know it because now he has like a legitimate beef because the bloodline cost him his Intercontinental Championship. But I gotta ask this: do you feel like, because there's been a little bit of whispers here, I don't necessarily think this, but I gotta get your thoughts on it. After Jay's had an amazing year of becoming, leaving SmackDown and going to Raw and organically getting over as one of the top stars and eventually becoming Intercontinental Champion, and now he's going to be going back to the Bloodline storyline. Do you feel like this is a step down for him, or what do you think?
I mean, it. I was a little surprised because there was a point in time last night where I thought the match was going to end, and it was right after Jey Uso hit a really perfect splash. And then the crowd was behind him. Everyone thought like he was going to get to the 3 count, and then he didn't. And then like that moment like solidified for me that he wasn't going to win, and it was I really enjoyed his IC run, and it was only 28 days. So I'm really hoping that there
Yeah,
is a possibility that he gets the title back. Um, but I don't know if that's a little clouded for me right now. I really feel like Braun didn't need it more than Jay did, but there was a point in time earlier in the episode where Braun said that Jay has a lot of family business to sort out.
yeah,
So maybe it's one of those things where the hero has to go through the hero's journey. Like he has a fall from grace, and then he has to, dig his way up out from the
yeah,
underworld and climb back to Olympus. So maybe it could be one of those. Jay's one of those people that works so well under pressure, and he
yeah,
uses it as his driving force. So
yeah.
um, I, I was really disappointed with the outcome of this match. I really wanted Jay to,
Mm,
keep the championship, but
yeah.
I don't think it's a step back, but I think it's just more of what we already saw. And I feel like there was already so much rich storyline with the bloodline already. I don't know if he needed to be brought back into that, but I mean, time will only tell. If it makes sense, it makes sense. But
Yeah,
I really like seeing what Jey Uso was becoming outside of his family name. So
I agree for sure. He's really done well in building himself up. You and OG Tony just made me believe that yeah, maybe it's not a step back. Maybe it's just a side step. He's handling family
hmm
business. I do believe now after hearing that logic that Jey Uso will wear Intercontinental Championship gold again.
hmm
It could be sometime next year during the Netflix era. I think that's when we'll see it. But yeah, right now he's going to handle family business, and yeah, well, we knew we weren't going to see another 666-day Intercontinental Championship reign. I
right,
don't think that we
right.
need to. I think it's okay that the title is flip flopping a little bit after such a historic reign,
hmm
and I think that
It's going
everything
to.
they're doing, yes, and I think that everything they're doing is for the good of storytelling.
Agreed. Even if we don't want
So
to see it,
I
but
dig it. I'm exactly,
it
and
makes
here's
us
the
give a
thing.
shit.
Here's the thing. There's yes, exactly, but there's sometimes in the story where the story's gonna piss you off. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And
Makes
that's
us
just a
know that
part
we
of the
still
ride.
care.
That's just a part of the
Right.
ride.
It really is.
Yep,
Couldn't agree
absolutely,
more.
absolutely. And as far as the ride goes, this one has got to conclude, but it has been fun, ladies and gentlemen. You guys out there in the household, chatting it up with myself and Annie O'Neill here on the Raw Deal. And with that being said, I have to give my co-host the opportunity to plug anything that she wants to plug, any upcoming appearances, podcasts, anything that you got going on, Annie. Let us know.
So tomorrow, my episode of Bumping and Thumping with my co-host, the Concept Alicon House, will be dropping tomorrow. That was a lot of fun. Con came over to my neck of the woods and we talked business. So that's in the works for tomorrow. Also, tomorrow I will be back with CCW in Michigan for episode 123 of their weekly show. That's going to be a lot of fun. I take the reins uh, of the show myself while my co-host is up healing. He took a really he took some violence last week, so I hope
Oof.
he's on the mend. So I will be filling some very big shoes tomorrow. And Saturday, October 26th in Marshfield, Wisconsin, now or never for Frontline Pro, I will be making history as the first woman ever to join the commentary team. I will be on the call with Steve Arendt and Chris Lockman. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to learn a lot, and I'm going to bring my crazy, unique insights, and serve the show on a whole another level. So can't wait. And then, the world's most dangerous game will be making his return to Frontline Pro Now or Never, and he will be taking on Shaq Jordan. So,
That's gonna
in your house team, we hold it down. So we put the work in and we get the results. So, Con, what about you? What do you got going on? You always got something going on. So.
always busy all the time over here, and that's because everything I do is for the good of wrestling right here in your house. That's exactly where I'm going to be doing my thing, making sure that we're putting out great content, exactly what we're putting out, whether it be a Sunday with the Sunday House Party, a Monday with Window Liquors, the Raw preview show, Wednesday here, the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neil. We talk Monday Night Raw. Friday, the ECW Watch Along series, ECW Hardcore Television, Grunge Room. He talks a little SmackDown. So many awesome things that go on. And of course, DPW, Dear Pro Wrestling, the world's most dangerous game, and podcaster, and the Chaos Goblin himself, Kevin Calloway, come together for what has been a hit show where they really come together and give young wrestlers, or even wrestlers that might not know some things and always trying to learn, because it's an ever-evolving pro wrestling game. They give you tips, hints, insights, things to help you out through your professional wrestling career. It's a unique vibe from any other show that we're doing here on the In Your House Podcast Network. DPW, Dear Pro Wrestling, Paragon, Kevin Calloway, super proud of what those young men are putting together. That's great work. They're doing great work. And it's all here for pro wrestling, all here at In Your House, because we all uniquely and unity come together and give you guys that work, because it's HOWSC and the W stands for work. So for Divinely Designed Annie O'Neil, for the Chaos Goblin Kevin Calloway, for Grun Meister, for Hypocrisy Jones, for the voice Josh Joseph, for the world's most dangerous podcaster Paragon, I am Alakan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. And you guys have a great day, a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. Wheels them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. And your house is the perfect distraction. Rumpus in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.